Hello, hello, folks of SpeedGaming. We are getting just about underway here with another race of the round one Metroid Prime Rando tournament. My name is Baja Blood. I'm joined here in the booth today by Ivy Paw. How you doing, Ivy?
Been good.
Yeah, today we are featuring LaKompetenzia, also known as Jay, and Veapron. I saw this matchup and I knew I had to get up on it. I think this is going to be a real good one. These are both pretty good runners. Been doing a bunch of practice races with both of them, and I think it's going to be a pretty even match.
Yeah, I've also done a few multis with both of them. They don't like me for it. Last time I had with Jay, he had to do bomb jumps to get up to Elite Research to get a space jump.
Oh boy. Alright, I have sent them live, so we will be catching up on the restream end in about 1 minute. Yeah, until then, I guess, briefly for those who haven't been catching any of the races so far, we are in week 1 of 6 rounds of Swiss, which will be followed by a cut to a top 8 elimination bracket. We are featuring a variety of settings this tournament, which is the first time we've been trying this. So each week of Swiss, we're going to have different settings for the randomizer that the racers are going to have to adapt to. And this week is actually super plain. This is the odd weekly settings, which is our most basic kind of race preset. So yeah, we'll be seeing a landing site start here. We've got unshuffled elevators. Usual, get your 6 artifacts. Get your beams and your phazon suit, and go beat the game.
Ooh, a Markle start. Okay.
Yep, pretty much all these races are going to be starting off with Space Jump first. We do have beginner tricks in logic. So that scan dash off the ship to get the Space Jump first is in logic and expected. So that morph ball is accessible, as well as this missile launcher. Jay? Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Hopefully there will be another missile on path here. I mean, we don't need the main launcher to be able to fire missiles, so any old missile expansion will do.
Yeah.
But Jay will be leaving checks behind if they don't kind of find one pretty early here. Hopefully Hive Mecha is like a missile expansion, because that's pretty much where Jay has to go at this point. Oh, Jay actually, yeah, Jay did. I thought Jay dropped down and saw it. I was like second guessing that, given that they didn't pick up the missile. Meanwhile, Veapron picking up an E-Tank here, as well as the artifact hints. I'll see if we choose to check them early or wait until they have to start making some mid-game kind of routing decisions. I prefer the former, but there are definitely those that you can save a little bit of time if you have already collected some of the artifacts for free when you're reading and writing down hints. So some folks like to do that.
Ooh, first nothing on him.
Yeah, nothing in Ruin Nursery. There are going to be 7 of those glitchy Metroid models in the item pool that won't give the runners anything if they pick them up. 1 for each of the 6 artifacts we started with, as well as the charge beam we started with.
Yeah.
More missiles in for your crash site. I do like the play of making this check. It is not currently in logic. We would need space jump or grapple beam to put that in logic. Okay, Jay gets kind of bailed out here, honestly. Still going to lose a little bit of time, having missed the lower Ruin Nursery item.
Nursery. Oh,
gallery. Or sorry, gallery. You're right. Okay, it's going to go back for it. Yeah, it's kind of hard to leave that check behind here. I do, if that was indeed Varia on the ledge that Jay saw, I think you do need to turn around yet again once you go get the missile locked item here, but it's kind of a tough sell to skip this right now. So in the end, really, all Jay's going to have lost by skipping that landing site missile is this backtrack. Oh, okay,
Oh,
space jump's good.
well, that's
All right, and now we actually don't even. Yeah, now we don't even need to push all the way through.
yeah.
Transport access north. Space jump can get us to the vault edge, nice and easy. Looks like we are making a play for this vault ledge here. That's an interesting Varia. Do you make the lava lake play now? It is a pretty likely place to be bombed, but it's also a pretty terrible place if it's not bombed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, there's bombs there.
okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna blame that on the restream quality.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that's like. So you do have the options here. You can go into mid Chozo. We have a lot of checks available to us in the watering hole area. We can do Zoid all the way up to lower furnace. Or you can make the Magmor play. I personally really like the Magmor play here. It's following up on that Varia suit and bombs. And with the way Randomizer played, oh my god!
Oh, period. Okay.
Get those first. That's good.
Yeah.
This even makes me more like the Magmor play, given that a number of checks in Magmor are PB locked. But with the way Randomizer places items, as like a forward fill with some waiting, whatever the next thing it wants to give you, it is much more likely to put it somewhere that was opened up by whatever it gave you last. So if you're able to kind of follow a logic chain and know what the kind of order of the items... Oh, nice artifact tree.
Supers are required because that was an artifact.
Backing out here. This is fine, I guess. I probably would have just routed in through Lava Lake. But we can go this way. We can do the root cave area into Twin Fires.
Also note that Jay has yet to get the artifact hidden, so he's probably going back to get those hints.
Mm-hmm. See, yeah, if this is an artifact temple play, or if this is going to go straight into root cave. Look, no, looks like it's going to be clean up the temple. Let's see, yep. Jay gonna kind of cover the ground that Veep did earlier before entering Chozo for the first time, and meanwhile, I think Veep will have the ability to tread some new ground first.
Yeah.
Will take a little bit to get into and out of Artifact Temple. So if Veep decides to... I mean, yeah, whichever way Veep goes, it'll be somewhere new. Both runners gonna... got that. Veep's got in the tree, realizing could have had that info if he just scanned the hints. Although, honestly,
Yeah.
he got that so quick that it doesn't really matter. Going to not isolate that Ruin Gallery tunnel. That check can burn you.
Yeah.
I'd have been probably willing to skip it here, honestly. But Thurnis can be a strong play. If it's rewarded, nothing.
Oof.
So we head back into main plaza and we'll get to see which door Veapron takes, and that will be kind of telling us what the actual game plan is. We can go up Vault Ledge into Vault, we can go into Mid Chozo, or we could head out the front door towards Root Cave. Mid Chozo, interesting choice. Okay.
I did like to clear Chozo first before I decide going to other places. Because usually Chozo has a lot of checks, and it tends to have a lot of stuff.
Yep, the Watering Hall area is one of the denser areas we have available to us currently. There are a lot of checks available, but I think the like assuming you're reading the logic correctly, which sometimes you aren't. Sometimes just like the
Yeah.
Vargas suit isn't actually like was placed later or something, and just happened to be in an early accessible zone. But generally, I would think that each check in Magmore is like several times more valuable than each check here. So even though
Yeah.
there's like a couple more checks closely connected here, each one is a little more likely to be just an expansion or something. But Ice Spider, not a terrible find. The value it has sort of starts to decrease as you get more and more used to kind of the speedrun any percent strats for Exo. And that's really only the only value of Ice Spreader in general is for the Exo fight.
Yeah.
Veep going out of bounds?
Seems like it.
What is this play?
I think it's going for the top of Dynamo? Not in Spider?
Does this get
Yeah.
you upper Dynamo or just let you look at it?
I believe you can ceiling warp into upper Dynamo as well with this.
Interesting. And while I was focused on Veep, Jay gets us our hints. Craft chamber, main plaza, tree, transfer tunnel A, search B, research overgrown cavern. Interesting. Thinking lower mines today. A couple in upper.
Yeah.
And then we are looking for super missiles today, which is one of those items that can be just about anywhere, depending on how the seed plays out. I missed what ended up actually being in Dynamo.
Yeah, I did it all.
Grapple.
Well, this is grapple.
Yeah, you take that. Also send a few runes. Or was it E-Tank? Okay.
Now, grapple does put magma pool and logic down too.
That's true, yeah. Magma Pool's a good play here. In the meantime, doing these out of logic root cave and arbor chamber checks. Really logically missing X-ray visor for root cave, but we would also need plasma for arbor chamber. But with a quick little out of bounds here, we can grab that item. So the door being blue on the other side. And a magma pool. Nothing in arbor chamber. So Magmore? He's going to read these artifacts here, while Jay is our first to enter Magmore. Presumably he'll continue this play after TTA, or TTP. Veapron leaving this way. Other runners checked Vault, which I find strange.
Oh.
Like if you've got the bombs and but we did see Vault. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I prefer the Lava Lake play over Twin Fires. I'm a little surprised both runners didn't end up using the elevator in Chozo. Jay interested in Shore Tunnel here. What do we got? Spider.
Spider. Okay.
Interesting. Bit of trouble with this standable. This pipe is can jump on top of it and then get up to the rest of the room.
Yep.
Give up on that.
You just gave up.
Climb room.
Like, yeah.
There are so many different ways to climb this room.
Yeah.
Go up to Warrior Shrine, Upper Fiery Shores. Both are accessible with the space jump. We don't need boost anymore. In previous years, that scan dash was ranked as intermediate, but it is no longer.
Okay.
Free gravity suit doesn't really do anything for us right now. The gravity, if wave shows up, can be an indication to go to tower chamber and or go to quarantine monitor. Although we already have spider, so using gravity to get through Twin Fire's tunnel isn't as interesting of a play, I think, anymore. Jay going to make this play at least to grab the artifact out of Transport Tunnel A. See if they take this all the way into Shorelines, or if they would hold off on the Fen play until they check the rest of Magmore. There is that kind of slope jump into our jump thing isn't free in Gravity Chamber. And Jay is currently at least missing Grapple, as well as Plasma to get the item the intended way. I always hate to find Spider Ball in Magmore. It makes me uncertain if the game is trying to tell me to like keep on with what I was doing and like go to Ice Ruins East, or if I'm like meant to go back to Chozo now. Spider did open a few things in Chozo.
Yeah.
Schrodinger's Dynamo. Veep, at least, for himself and the folks at home, has confirmed that Upper Dynamo is nothing. But Jay has no idea. Powerball expansion in the Ice Ruins East Ice. No need to come back for that. But what can we actually pick up here? Well, Veep is routing forward Magmore, so we will get to see the 3 checks Jay skipped before hitting the Fen here. Yeah, I'm not sure how Jay feels in terms of like the matchup, like execution wise. Could be that there are some kind of intentional corner cuttings going on to try to make up some time.
Maybe he just feels like he's behind a bit, so he's got to cut some corners. I don't know.
Yeah, Veep has been in a number of tournaments, always does pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even necessarily like skip all checks. It is prioritize the checks that have most recently opened up because they are higher value, and like hope you don't get burned by Randomania placing something somewhere at a lower priority check. And like so far, so good. Yeah, I mean, that mistake loses you what, like, I don't know, 30 seconds. Like, already the number of checks Jay has skipped is like way more than that. Like, Like, if this was like a conscious, I am choosing to skip things and play riskier, he has already more than made up for that amount of time. Like, as we can see, like he's way into shoreline significantly ahead of Veep here. Looks like this is going to be the play of taking this wave beam back to Chapel.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty conservative play in my opinion. This is like really far out of the way for one slow check. This would be a corner I would be pretty comfortable trying to skip, honestly, unless I thought I had a pretty significant movement advantage over my opponent. Because yeah, you're giving up a lot of time for this check here.
If we have plasma, this ball would be a little better of timing since you can get both checks here without worry.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Yeah, IS is only allowed by runner's agreement. Also, neither runner has boosts, so we can't do it anyways. And nothing here in Chapel. Interesting. Veep making the Chapel play immediately, even without Wave Beam. I think I very much dislike coming here before Ice Ruins East. We know we have a check in Ice Ruins East available to us. If that's like either wave or plasma, you like absolutely want it before coming here.
Yeah.
So I kind of disagree with that order of operations. She's gonna take a save warp. Interesting. See, yeah, now I really don't like this play. So you're save warping. You've done one wave check in Fen. Like, if you wanted to do one wave check in Fen and then save warp, just like go do
Labs, I would say.
Ruin Courtyard and save
Yeah.
warp out of there. I can see not wanting to go into labs right now. Like, we don't have boosts or supers to put any checks there in logic, or ice. So I'm like pretty okay with not bothering to do labs. But like, it's kind of risky to leave a check behind. It's kind of slow to get them both, and that was like a kind of slow way to not actually fulfill either of those conditions. I don't know. I do like I like the Chozo play, honestly. I think it is fairly likely that something interesting is here in these checks that Wave unlocked in Chozo. TCA is a pretty good check. Tower Chamber is a really good check with that grab suit having not done anything for us yet. And like Tower of Light or Tower of Light Tower Chamber have been kind of pretty common progression spots that we've been seeing. We're doing too hard. I can't help it.
This is to force a habit.
Veep gonna get this wave beam pretty soon here. Gonna take a look at the Ice Ruins West item first. Just in a second. I assume Jay checked that too. I just don't remember it.
I don't think he did. I might be wrong.
The time to do some standable there to get up to kind of skip that first scan dash, but ends up just doing it real quick.
Yeah.
Where up? What do we got in Tower of Light today?
Oops. Oh, there's
boy. Okay. Now I start to feel a little less happy about having skipped labs, but
yeah,
you never know. Sometimes it's just ice that's here and boost is in the middle of nowhere. Labs is in logic now. Veapron doesn't know that. Jay does, but unfortunately Jay is nowhere near labs. Training chamber is now perfectly in logic, which is kind of interesting. Somewhat early for that check to be coming into play. All right. I am pretty skeptical that this saves much time. And we have all the items to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are going to see the training chamber wall crawl. First, we do need to jump over to that platform that Jay first jumped to by the tree there. That forces Piston Tunnel here to load. Now we need to hit another loading trigger in Piston Tunnel. We're going to ride up this like second to last piston here. Hit a load trigger and then jump. Tunnel by the door. Ooh, take a bit of a fall here. Ready to do some A3 jumps here. Meanwhile, Veep is proceeding into labs. We don't have X-rays or Super, so we won't have any idea what we missed here in Hydra. Yeah, Hydra is a pretty painful check to miss. Like, normally, yeah. Normally it doesn't come back and bite you, but this is about it. This, like, Hydra is maybe about as far from a save warp as any check in the game. Besides, like, maybe lowest mines. Okay. Jay has salvaged his position here. We'll continue the wall crawl. Need to hit one more loading trigger here in training chamber itself. Kind of in this little domed roof area. Around there. Now I think you could just attempt to get TCA to load around you if you wanted, yeah. Jay just gonna get the E-Tank. Yeah, maybe. So, like, I also only do this wall crawl to get this item. And so, like, I've never actually practiced getting the door to load around me in TCA. So, maybe Jay hasn't either. I'm gonna spend a little bit of extra time here doing it this way, but we'll net one E-Tank, which is nice. Thanks, Spider-Ball. Oh. Okay. Yeah, Spider does not work properly when you're on the wrong room, so we need to kind of... Oh, what am I talking about?
Ow.
I didn't think that's... The TCA? Did he see it? Maybe he saw it from...
Yeah, it was in missile.
Okay. Veep showing off. Wow, we got so much out of bounds today.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some standable method to get out of... Oh, no, this is just a weird way of making that shot. Never mind. I thought this was the semi-out of bounds method of getting out of this check area. Third, nothing. So, 2 checks down in labs. No payout so far. Still have 3 to come. Jay will net this grapple beam here in the watery hall area. Using a power bomb to quickly take out that Metroid and Aether. Let's Edward jump on by. Just a pair of missiles in Aether. Oh no, that's a thermal.
Yeah.
This is not a missile.
Almost vanilla. Started close to the area.
Alright, well, Tharus is in logic. You can get there from the back. And the missile here. Beep. Beep not gonna choose to keep the thermal. Boost was in Tower Chamber, I believe. Or Tower of Light.
Tower
One of
Light.
the two, yeah.
The Tower Light.
Been somewhat tempted to keep that visor. Maybe it loses me time, but the first visor saves you so much time in the Essence fight.
Yeah.
And there's no guarantee you're going to run into X-Ray. Yeah, Aether both checks for missiles.
One of which was, because the other one was thermal.
Gosh darn it, yes. Jay with no interest in the ice spreader.
Sorry, it's just not logical this yet, because we still need supers to get to him.
No, we have the means to go all the way around back of
No
Magmore.
ice.
What? We don't need ice for that. You can get all the way to Workstation with just Wave, and then heading to Thardis from that elevator that only requires Wave.
Right. Duh.
Yeah, it's just heading into Farfen from that elevator that's ice
I
locked.
don't know why I keep forgetting about that.
Either runner. Why doesn't Veep know? Yeah, Veep should know, I think. Oh, no boost. That's why. Yep, no boost.
Oh, yeah.
Audrey's correct. That thermal is boost locked. Jay will be pushing farther in Chozo than we've seen before. Veapron. Did you not do Tower of Light? Okay.
Honestly, I feel this. I've done this before.
I do normally get this item before Tower Chamber, so I don't know. I don't know if Veep purposely did Tower Chamber first or like scuff the dash or something. But there will be times like if I go for a dash, scuff it, and then I'm just getting Tower Chamber, then I will like just assume that I've done Tower of Light because Tower of Chamber is always the second thing I do.
I've done Tower Chamber. They're just completely for a Tower of Light, and I'm just like, nah, I'm good.
Possible, yeah. Tower of Light
That's
used
awful,
to,
yeah.
before multi-pickup placement improvements, was never any progression item in beginner tricks. But I would, yeah, I think Veep should remember that now. Veep has been doing a decent number of practice races and stuff, so I would think he's up to date on the logic and that kind of stuff. Yeah, Bash Rando would have had it like locked behind a specific trick of doing like Tower Chamber or Tower Plate. Fourth nothing in Lower Furnace. All right, where's Ice Beam? Ice Beam is Vanilla, Upper Furnace, Artist Workstation, Human. Is there anything else? Plant. Jay going for BSJ here. I question sometimes. Like, so a lot of these strats are like much more difficult than like the ways you see a lot of runners do these rooms, and like theoretically a little bit faster if you're like perfect at them. So Jay is kind of like losing time by making things harder on himself than he needs to. Even like not picking up Ice Spreader, I kind of question. Like I know theoretically, if you're a god exofight player, like it doesn't save you that much time, but like there's a lot of positions where you can make it have you save time. Oh, we're gonna see potentially a partial IBBF wall crawl here to avoid having to do the energy core puzzle. Could take this all the way to Hall of Elders, but we don't really need to, given that we have wave. Oof. So we've got some parties at the bottom of the Aether floor on both runner sides here. That probably feels pretty bad for both, honestly.
Yeah.
But these wall crawls in Prime, I find much trickier than anything that we see in like our Echoes weeklies and tournaments.
Yeah.
Prime is a lot less forgiving of a game without a bounds. The limited influence makes it much more difficult to do Aether jumps along a single wall. Also punishes you anytime you walk from some random, sometimes not even visible standable onto nothing. You can just start to fall. A lot you can't force rooms to load by just being on the door like you can in Echoes. So you have to memorize a lot more on a room-by-room basis where you can stand, where the room loads, that kind of stuff. That's a question, Tester. I don't know actually how much time like this wall crawl saves in rando with like this equipment if pulled off perfectly. Jay, given a couple tries at the Hall of the Elders bomb jump, we can skip this kind of cutscene here. It also will save us time later if we ever try to come back to do the Hall of the Elders checks, because using that wave slot will make 3 ghosts appear in the room the next time we enter here and disable the statue hands until they are killed. We still can get Elder Chamber with the statue hands disabled, because that's just moving the statue rather than getting bold.
And there's locked doors, so that is probably the one check we can get here.
Yeah, so ideally, if you don't have ice already to do that check first pass, it is nice to get that bomb jump. Plus, it is faster, even if you don't need to fight the ghosts, if you can get that trick right away. Another nothing. Wow, that's most of them. This is pretty tough for both runners here. Now, Jay presumably is going to be more interested in, well, I wonder how Jay routes this. So most likely, if I'm Jay, I assume Ice Beam's probably in labs. But if you want to hedge, a way you could route this is do the workstation to Qmon to Thardis to labs play. And then you're pretty much guaranteed at this point to find Ice Beam without needing to turn around in labs. The only reason you would lose that bet is if Plant had something.
Flogger does have ice in. Or ghost,
Yeah,
at least.
I mean Plant could have something.
Because we have Spider as well, so we could also do early wild as well. So that's literally 2 checks they're leaving.
Yep. Yeah, early wild is free. Early wild won't be in logic with just spider. We do always need supers in the logic to avoid the
Okay.
possibility of folks soft locking their seeds by potentially coming to flogger without spider when theoretically spider was available.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay making the far magma play. Yeah, I like this play. It's sometimes slower because you may end up having to fight Athardis for no reason before going into labs if it's like an Ice Beam and labs play. But you won't get super punished by going into labs and finding nothing, which is what would kind of happen here. So I think this play will work out pretty well this seed. Jay is pretty likely to find Ice Beam within the next 3 checks here. Oop. Yeah, a little too far forwards there with that scan dash, bonking into the Magmore. Alright, Veep going back for the boost. Let's see where Veep goes after this. Veep still has the kind of far Chozo checks to do. Veep went as far as lower Furnace though, right? No, hasn't seen Zoid or Furnace.
No.
Oh, was that Ice Beam Workstation? That's an excellent find for Jay here.
Yeah.
So yeah, now Jay can pretty comfortably skip Thardis if he wants. He can do mine or labs backwards if he wants. Although I'd probably do Farfen first and then backwards labs if you're gonna do labs at all. Potentially you could just, I mean, you could take this ice straight into mines if you were feeling particularly spicy. If you're at all comfortable with the getting the upper gravity item with what you have, I do think it makes it just get Farfen out of the way now. We know we're picking up at least 1 artifact there, so might as well loop through now.
Yeah.
Never know if Plasma will be one of those other checks. Triclops really being bullies here. Nice beam. All right. That's a really awkward spot for ice. It's one of those, like, theoretically we've been able to do this for a long time. So it's like, did my opponent beat me here by a lot? What is happening? Jay leaving? Oh my god, is this a plasma processing play? Oh.
Thanks for that, Jay.
Imagine vanilla plasma right here next to Ice Beam.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I like assume this is true. I would assume you jump slower when you're going backwards rather than forwards. Like particularly relative to an L jump. Because like every time I try to do that stupid jump backwards, I never make it either.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't say every time. Like I have gotten it, so like I know it's possible to do it backwards, which is I think why I do is going for it. But it is like way less forgetting. Alright, puzzle solved. Go for the eagle jump here. Oh no!
And
influenced.
Oof.
This is like yet another place where Jay is choosing the hard road. You know, Veep gonna hit. Oh no, spider ball, please, please.
Might be
That's
going a
pain.
bit too fast here.
Game kicking Jay while he's down here. Taking a moment to collect himself there, I think. I would be pretty enraged by this room at this point, too. It's pretty understandable. Alright. Made the R jump. This is sometimes why I like the slope jump method here, just because it never yeets you into the lava again.
Yeah.
This is a bit awkward, as we're seeing. I like to face sideways so I can a little bit better see what I'm doing, rather than staring this dead on.
There we go. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
That was a lot of fun.
Alright, geothermal or plasma processing, you better pay off at this point.
Oh, that was close.
He's worked hard for this. Oh, nice save, dude. That's no. Oh, okay. Oh, he backed up into the wall. I thought the door had closed behind him.
Yeah. That count. Screw you.
Okay. Let's leave Magmore and never speak of this again.
Yeah. This never happened.
So yeah, mine's is an option. I think Farfen makes more sense. Labs is tough for me because like it's a decent number of checks. But they're not newly unlocked by ice, and when you finish labs, you're like kind of in the middle of nowhere. Like you're not close to any checks you haven't seen before. Now, you could do labs, like save warp out a gathering hall or something, and then go do like a FCS climb into back Jozo, and then go into mines that way. So I don't really hate that if you wanted to do labs.
Well, also the other point is we do have frigate as well that's fully in logic.
Mm-hmm. Plasma and man, the supers still not having showed up is spooky.
Oh, that was X-ray.
Nice visor. Okay, that's really nice. Oh my god. I hate when I get instant morphs when I'm not expecting, because then it just actually loses you time when you remorph after the instant unmorph. I have to imagine. I mean, it was just in Crossway. I have to imagine he must have looked up a previous time if he didn't look up at all that time.
Yeah, Crossway was a missile, by the way.
Yep. Then in transport access. Yeah, Jay actually has quite a lead now, with Veep kind of committing to this Chozo cleanup again, even after the unfortunate reset there. Veep now pretty much, I can't imagine what Veep would ever do next besides go get Ice Beam. I don't think there's much left. Oh no, this could be Plant. Shoot. Yep. But you never know. Plant could still have something.
Yeah.
We're a few missiles short of the Wavebuster kill, unfortunately. Even if we had it.
A lot of missiles. If only there was a Prime 1 unlimited missiles, that'd be helpful. Okay, showing off the grapple dashing.
PR tracker pointing out, if Jay does end up making in the labs play, the X-ray does mean that he'll get to see Hydra on the way out.
Yeah.
So we'll have that little bit extra knowledge over Veep. Jay going for the lower grav chamber entrance. I see folks try to head up to the upper one.
I usually go upper, because it's quicker that way, at least, for me.
Artifact is up. So, let's see how Jay's slope jump into our jumping is. Does appear to know the setup. Yeah, this trick is kind of difficult, and then if you miss it, you have to be careful not to fall into the drink. First try. Let's go, Jay.
Nice.
Nicely done. Unfortunately, we have grav and boost to make this room not incredibly painful.
Yeah.
Gel zaps are a menace.
The currently is a Prime 1.
Seeing the nice Flagra kind of quick kill strats here. First, if you come in from the front, you do need to shoot the first mirror and bomb the first slot normally. But after that, all of the damageable triggers are not actually like true bomb slots, but they are just objects that are damageable by bomb type damage. And you can lay bombs on the outside edges and damage them from the outside.
That's missile for Flogger.
Alright, Jay sees Research Core is dead, considering whether Labs is the correct play. Yeah, I could go either way on this. This is like somewhat slow. But I'm always scared to go into mines when I have a bunch of checks left. Because then I never know if I'm supposed to like go down vent shaft looking for plasma or not.
Yeah.
Because if like plasma was here and you end up making the MQA play, you're like you're so far behind at that point.
Yeah.
Jay has done everything except for labs and gathering hall, or ruined courtyard. I know prime room names.
Yeah. I can tell.
We'll get his second visor here. Oh, and I guess Thardus. We've not seen Thardus.
Yeah.
Don't really expect to see Thardus.
I mean, he may as well have super yet.
On time wilds, yeah. I don't mind not bothering with early wilds right away. This is a small chance you get punished, I guess, but it's like fairly likely that our go mode item is supers, in which case it's never on ghosts. Yeah, none of our artifacts are plasma locked. Logically, the upper fen one was, or the far fen one was. And upper gravity does expect plasma beam. But yeah, we are theoretically in a position where we could go gather all our artifacts and get the hint now. Yeah, Frigate was actually in play even without thermal. We have enough items to go into mines from the back all the way up to the front, and then do Frigate backwards. And then in that case, you don't need thermal. Yeah, I didn't quite see what happened there on Jay's side, but yeah, it kind of looked like he was trying to squeeze around the door, stuff around the door on the ground. But yeah, there's some collision on the left and right side of the door that sticks out more than what's on top of it. And so trying to go around on the sides will force you into this fight trigger. So you need to kind of dodge it vertically. Has located the ice beam, though, in the process of picking that up. I would expect we'll see the Farfen play out of Veep as well. It really does make sense here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would definitely be interesting. A Minds play here would be pretty interesting for Veep in terms of like the race. Veep would still need to at some point come back to Farfen and get that artifact. Oh, Jay, not even going to bother with Hydra or Gathering Hall? Or is this just a... okay. It's a little bit risky. I don't super hate this, but it's risky. Again, ice is the most recent thing we've gotten. It was locked by kind of pretty much everything else in our progression chain so far. Whereas like Hydra we can't even get, and Gathering Hall's been in Logic for ages. So I think those are pretty reasonable skips right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we can't actually get the hint right now until we get supers. Would not surprise me one bit if supers were plasma locked either.
Or super or plasma's super locked. I don't know.
Interesting. I'm gonna see a forward frigate play here. Running this whole kind of area is a bit awkward, just like trying to avoid looping back to somewhere where you've already cleared everything else out.
Yeah.
Backward frigate, like if you're willing to take a save warp afterwards, is a decent chunk faster because you actually can skip all of these rooms prior to cargo freight. And we are leaving one of these checks behind. We can visually see what's in Biohazard, but we cannot pick it up yet. Deep also, I think, first try on the upper gravity item. Very nice. Yeah, these runners sure know their stuff. This is the most like out of bounds I've seen in a prime race in a long time.
Yeah.
It is pretty rare that you see both runners doing out of bounds stuff. So definitely a lot of knowledge on display here today. Yeah, not like Echoes. Echoes, the meta has very much shifted in favor of out of bounds. Alright, be continuing out the Farfen loop here. Looks like this is going to be a save word. Did Veep do this whole loop backwards? So I actually like that. I didn't
Believe so, yeah.
think to comment on that. But yeah, if you're at all interested in save warping out of Farfen, I do like doing the loop backwards. Yeah, Thermal's interesting. I'm a little skeptical that it's worth going back for at this point. Mostly just because, like, it kind of puts you in the middle of nowhere. Maybe if you had supers, you have some sort of excuse to, like, at least go check Hydra on the way. I missed Biohazard. Shoot, I was looking at the deep side.
I think it was a missile, but I could be wrong. It might have been me tank, I remember. Oh.
Yep, heading back to workstation, presumably. Now, Veep could do the... I don't think Veep did the plasma processing check. We'll see if Veep goes for that now. Otherwise, that check ends up getting pretty isolated.
Yeah, E-tank for Biohazard seemed right.
Nope, gonna leave plasma processing behind. Oh, that I thought that was supers. No.
Also, that's funny because Flamethrower does not work underwater.
Yeah, which actually was like an issue in early versions of Door Rando.
Yeah.
Rando just assumed you could always flamethrower a door no matter where it was. We're gonna head up, see the light road area checks. Makes sense. I like doing this. Meanwhile, we're gonna start to see the back of mines, and then the big question for Veep is when/if you actually start dipping down into lower mines to gamble on a improved plasma location past vent shaft. See how our power bomb count. Oh yeah, 4 out of 4. Well, on power bombs and Veep side, that's always good as you're entering mines here. Plasma and Dardos would be so bad for both of these runners.
Yeah.
You're just getting a last location at that point. Alright, we're going to go up first. We do have several artifacts we can pick up here, so we do need to do this eventually. Question will just be if he does actually decide to come down here before, say, warping or just leaving mines at the front. Oh,
Hey, there it is.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have Jay going to be in good shape here, heading into mines. We could clean up Chozo stuff right now. I don't mind just going straight to mines, though. Yeah. We do have like Hall of Elders and Elwood Chamber available to us now. But yeah, especially since those checks are locked behind that ghost fight, it's not super appealing, and it's not that slow to get back there from a save warp by climbing for your crash set again. Now we have yet another Supers hunt. We've had a couple of these already this tournament where Supers are go mode and could be just about anywhere. Is that our Phazon suit? That is, I believe, our Phazon suit. Nice double required elite research. So that's pretty good for Jay. There's no way you're ever missing a Phazon suit in elite research if there's an artifact in elite research as well. And in that case, we just need to find some missiles. Imagine Supers on OP. I would love that.
That'd be funny.
Not here. So collectively, we've got 2 more places in upper mines it can be. We do still have the full lower mines loop we haven't seen from either runner. Thardis, Elder Chamber, Hall of Elders. There's a couple Plasma Lock checks in Fen we haven't seen. Jesui's Temple, Storage Cave. Be interesting if anything is here in this flamethrower room coming up, because that's going to be a bad backtrack for Veapron at this point. Yeah, high five in the security station. Veep not missing anything there, just a missile in Storage Depot A. As both runners are dealing with some wave pirates to unlock the doors. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Aqua have having here.
So what artifacts are we missing? It's tree. For J, it's tree, elite research. And Storage Depot B.
Yeah.
So 2 of them coming up real quick here, and then it's just a tree. What's Veep missing? Veep should have 4 at least, I would think. Got the 2 from Upper Mines. Got Transport Tunnel A. And Overgrav, yeah. What's the other one Deep is missing then? Yeah. It does take a moment to kill the pirates before starting this fight, but yeah, it's really easy to get shot by one of them and pushed back into the Phazon Elite's line of sight, in which case the fight takes way longer. Oh, yes. Veep hasn't done Overgrown Cavern. So that's, like, free. Alright. So yeah, progression-wise, we're going to be pretty much exactly tied. It's just Jay will have done a few more checks and is better positioned to dive into lower mines, which is presumably where these supers are going to be. Not killing these turrets is a choice. Yeah. These turrets are bullies.
Yeah.
We'll use some nice standable here to get up to the top of the room. We'll ask a couple turrets as well as our friend Calvin. Buys the Phazon suit. And pretty much as soon as that Phazon suit gets picked up, Veep will also be grabbing the plasma, so we will equalize in terms of progression. Yeah, Life Growth Tunnel is a room. It sure is a room. Yeah, a little bit of extra spinning necessary on Jay's side there by not destroying the door before the item wall. Probably is a little better to do the item wall first if you're planning to leave out the top. Yeah. Alright. Super Hunt commences. So yeah, Jay is up. The frigate checks. Is down a plant check. Is that it? Is that the only things we haven't seen, or that haven't been checked on both sides?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Jay doing the bomb slots here. Perhaps not familiar with the Sandoval method to climb this room. Yeah, Veep still needs that Overground Cavern artifact, so it seems somewhat reasonable to ride in the Chozo stuff. And yeah, absolutely. If one of those two Chozo checks is supers, then... I mean, honestly, at this point, like, whoever finds supers first probably wins.
Yeah.
Alright, Jay, I'm teaching you this room after this race.
Yeah.
This is...
If you don't, I will.
It's not too bad. Like, it's relatively straightforward to get up to at least this middle layer.
Yeah.
Getting up to the very top without grapple is somewhat cursed, in my opinion.
It's lucky let go a bit early.
Alright, Reap doing the frigate play here. I don't mind this play, but yeah, it's not going to be paying off here. So this does give Jay even a little bit more time to hunt for these supers. He seems a little concerned about health. He's taking the time to... Oh, boy. Unfortunately, that waving shot probably hurt more than it helped.
Right,
Kind of knocked the pirate into the door so he couldn't squeeze by it anymore. Yeah, this health situation isn't great here. Is Jay going to head back out to main quarry to save?
That probably would be the plan, yeah.
That's a pretty sizable chunk of time being spent to refill health here. I mean, it's much faster than dying, so
yeah,
I can't really fault the play.
Yeah,
but this is a bit more time for Veapron here. Surely this isn't the save warp, is it? I think Lower Mine's kind of just... It's like the densest area of checks you haven't seen yet. Yeah, okay. Power bombs? Oh, he was out of missiles too.
Yeah,
oh,
he was out of missiles.
That's rough. Didn't even notice it, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Backdoor processing. And then we will start our descent into lower mines. Meanwhile, Veep has found that 5th artifact in Overgrown Cavern. We'll head into Chozo. If there's anything else really in Chozo. Yeah, so the ghost. So that was a good play. It ended up being a really good play on Veep's side to skip ghosts. We know at this point it's dead. As it is locked by super missiles by logic. Supers on Kraid. Yeah, there's really not like once you find supers, there's not a ton of game left. You just save warp, go to the plaza tree, and then go to final bosses. So like if you find it substantially before your opponent, you're just that far ahead going into final bosses. Percent GFMC ship. It would be I do hate GFMC ship. Keep also having to deal with the triple ghost layer here. It's one of those computers, right?
Yeah.
Now Vent Shaft. Veep scouted the upper dynamo item from out of bounds. I think Jay actually went back there with Spider. Yeah, I think Jay's collected it.
Jay cleared it. It was an E-tank on top.
Oh yeah, CG. There were some real TGC seeds. I'm very looking forward to another one of those tournaments. Probably following up this one at some point.
Yeah.
Does not look like Sandina's the answer. It looked like just a missile to me. Hopefully Jay is aware that you do not need to do the maze if you don't care about the item. The crash risk has been removed. It looks like he's going to go for a maze skip here. Yeah, in previous versions of the randomizer, it was dangerous to proceed through this room, having killed the drone and activating the maze without having completed the maze. As having the maze loaded while all those turrets were active and shooting could overload the game and cause a crash,
by the way.
but that has been fixed.
All 4 corners.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of race notes too. I think this might be the first tournament race Jay's been in. He's done a lot of kind of casual racing with us, but it does feel a little bit different when it's like a tournament. Yeah, maybe a little bio here for for Veapron. How are we gonna get across here? I am so bad at this dash in this room.
Ow.
I just cannot do it. I'm always super impressed by the folks that can.
All doesn't help with Metroid's last one.
There was a PB Expo somewhere. Where was it? Oh, behind ice in like ice ruins
Yeah,
east.
I think it's like east. Yeah, it was east.
All right, both runners refusing to go to training chamber the normal way. Let's see if if you can do it. I am skeptical of this play, honestly.
Yeah.
I think Veep did Elder Chamber. I saw Veep at least shooting the plasma beam
Elder
slot.
was a missile last I remember seeing.
Is that ever?
Oh, I think that's...
Maybe there's one left.
I think it was... I don't know. I wonder if Supers are gonna be on Mega Pirate. That'd be funny.
I wonder if this is another one of those things where like when you're learning the trick and you fall like this, you just like reset. And so like when do you actually practice how to? Oh, Veep is going for. This is a thing. Apparently, huh? Only works with floaty.
Oh, the floaty jump, yeah.
Oh, that's wild. I did not know that this was possible. Wait, is this a blind PMT check? Or did he see it?
He looked at it.
Is this supers?
I think it's a missile, but I think he wants it because he's, I think, low on him right now. I think. I don't know.
Oh, it's a PB.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Boy, not much left. MQB, OP, and PCA. Only options here. Otherwise, we're looking at...
artists we have yet to see yet either.
Yeah, Thardis, Chizoias Temple, Storage Cave, I think then are the only options. There we go. All right, there's go mode for Jay. And that's really just GG, honestly.
Yeah. Nope. Is there not a slope jump here? Oh, there's that, yeah.
Well, it would be pretty sick if we see some new tech displayed during a tournament race. And that, I mean, at that point, like Veep is ahead if he can get these supers really like within the next minute or two here.
Yeah.
Yep, he's resetting. Okay, yeah, so Veep is locked out of the super, yeah, locked out of any method of getting that without supers, I suppose then. FJ is floaty jump, which is, as far as, I am not really technically inclined to be able to answer that question well, but there's a state you can get while, I think, having a water box unload around you.
There we go, yeah.
Which you can
Also
manipulate
got
in
it.
Flogger's room with some out of bounds.
You could also get it in the Hive Tunnel room as well.
It works with space jump as well, so it can give you a big space jump height too.
Yeah.
You can use it to get the upper dynamo item without spider, and apparently get this tree item as well without supers. Probably some other uses I'm not familiar with as well. Floaty's that strong, wow. IBJ, but can you like start an IBJ below it without just like falling to your death?
Not too sure. High fives.
Jump there, and we're off to the Ridley fight on Jay's side. Unfortunately, Veep is now behind pretty much an entire lower mines, even if they had it there right away. Yeah, those ice beams in like the far Magmore, like the Artis area, are pretty tricky.
Yeah.
It's hard to not get like tricked into last locationing them. And or if you do try to go that way, you often end up getting duped into like fighting Artis for no reason, just to like have access to shorelines.
I would believe so. He was trying to buffer flyby. So you didn't get
I am not familiar enough with that setup. I have seen that there's like some sort of semi-consistent method, but I don't know enough to know whether he was going for it or not. I watched the video and decided it did not look free enough that I had any intention of learning it. I'll take the time loss, that's fine.
That's fair, yeah. Really being nice.
Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, manipulating Ridley to stand close to that wall reduces the chance of... Alright, nice snipe there. Alright, very clean Ridley fight. Oh! No. Super there could have finished this a bit earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the like second phase there, if you use just missiles, it takes 3 cycles to kill, but if you use missiles for 1 cycle on that super, you can do it in 2. But honestly, with the good snipes, didn't even really cost much time there. Unfortunately, yeah, it is relatively common to get that invincibility glitch on Ridley when you do get the snipes. I mean, yeah, I like this play. I like this play. All right, on Beep's side, because lower mines is probably where you think your opponent went, and at this point, you probably think you're pretty far behind. Doing these one-offs that your opponent may have skipped is potentially a way back into the game for you. Yeah, I think Interslice favors this method, and I think a number of people have learned it from kind of watching his races. Interslice has said that he finds that those standables a little more forgiving, even if it's like just a titch slower. F, sorry, Veep. Yeah, it's been a rough seed. Several out of bounds mishaps. It's a decent amount not going right for runners on both sides. Probably neither of them feeling very good at this point.
Yeah.
Especially each of them knowing they're like up against someone who is pretty skilled at the game. I expect flawless ice beam shots from you, Jay, having skipped the the ice spreader.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay's been practicing a lot for this tournament. I know he's tried to get into calls with folks like Reggie and myself to just kind of talk about routing and strategy for seeds as well.
Yeah.
And he knows more tech than I do already. I rely on mediocre movement and hopefully good routing.
And hope to see it doesn't screw us over, because that usually tends to what happened.
Tango Stardust. Not much we can find here. The best, quote unquote, best thing we could get is Wave Buster. Yep. Already, I think this is lost time to not picking up Ice Spreader.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like doing that's why I will pick up Ice Spreader every time, just because it's really hard to not lose the time.
Yeah. Even though it loses a
Ice
couple
Beam
times,
is real slow.
good at shooting, but I feel like it just saves you overall. Because then you don't have to worry about aiming that much.
Yeah, it's really if you don't get like the turnaround shot and the like really difficult, or sorry, the run by shot and the really difficult turnaround shot, then yeah, you can't skip like a wave phase or something that follows an ice, and then you're stuck doing a full wave phase, which is really slow.
Yeah.
Yep, continuing to clear out the plasma lock checks here. It sucks how far away Torch Cave is from Chizoi's Temple.
Yeah.
It's like when you're doing this cleanup, there's just really no good way to do it. Having Thermostat at least means you don't need to go through labs.
Yeah.
I like the straight checks if you think you're behind. Like if you think your opponent went to lower mines because it was more chunked, and you're otherwise behind, this is the only way you catch up. Okay, Big Veapron has entered a forfeit here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
J typing a little bit to Veap in race time. Alright, sub-chamber 4, we got Exo going double speed here. Oh, chilled out there. Ugh, the ice speed.
If only they had ice spreader.
Alright. Oh, interesting. So a lot of folks don't move when you enter this fight. It kind of normalizes, I think, the RNG on where Essence moves, such that it's definitely not at least going to be in a really bad spot.
Yeah.
Some of the spots I still find pretty bad, but it does, I think, increase your chance of getting an okay one. But yeah, you need to generally, our goal this fight is to keep Essence away from that Exo carcass on the side there, as if it's too close to that, it will fail to leave a pool, but it will still do a phase cycle. You're going to have to wait through a whole bunch of attacks for the next one to come down, and you can't do this, which is attack canceling. Using Phase on Blast to interrupt its attacks will get the next pool to come out a lot quicker. This looks like a good spot. Should be able to avoid pool skips here. There we go. Quickly finds it again before I can move into a bad spot, so I think, yeah, we should be in pretty good shape. We can try to close out the fight with pool cancels to get a little more damage out of a pool. If you move yourself in and out of the pool while holding charge beam, you can deal significantly more damage than you're supposed to be able to do with a pool. Almost half of a health bar. So yeah, only a little bit of pool cancels should give us enough damage here to complete this fight. Should be pretty good from here.
Yep. GG.
Down it goes. GG's. Yeah, that is a win for Jay with a race time 1:38.55. Get your GG's in chat. And we'll see if Jay can join us for an interview. Yeah, hopefully Veep doing okay. I mean, the mental game is tough. But yeah, anyways, we're joined by Jay. Welcome in, GG's.
I cannot believe it. Fucking hell. Abomination a la Randomizer. Jesus. I was completely offset at some point. I decided to go back to Chozo after getting Wave Beam. Because I thought basically gambling on lab would be a bad idea. Found Ice Beam in Magmore Workstation and was like, yes! Full clear time. And then I panicked because I couldn't find plasma. When I entered frickin' what's it called? Mines. When I entered mines, my only hope was to find phasing, supers, and plasma. And then I got plasma and life growth. I was like, oh my god, only supers and I can get hint. Then I found phasing suit. I was like, oh gosh. And my heart, and I actually meant to keep my heart rate down after, let's call it the accident in geothermal core.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about what happened there.
It never happened. Don't worry about it.
Let's look at this monstrosity. Wave Beam, Fendrana Canyon, Ice Beam, Magma Workstation, Plasma Beam and Life Growth, Grapple Beam, Watery Hole, Research Lab Ether, Quarantine Monitor, Ruined Gallery, Space Jump. That was also something. I wanted to get Varia from Voltage and I thought like, no, Schrodinger's check. Check Ruined Gallery, always. Space Jump, oh, okay, I'll take it.
Oh yeah, thinking about that missile launcher, we're riding to the very beginning of the sea. Did you see the missile in landing site, or
Oh
not?
yeah, I did. I scan dashed off it.
Okay. Why didn't you grab it?
Because I scan dashed from it, and it wasn't the
But you
launcher.
had morph, so.
It wasn't launcher.
It was
So
launcher. It was launcher and landing site.
Was it launcher?
Yes, it was
Yeah.
launcher and landing.
And it was
site.
morph ball and alcove. So it
Oh,
actually
fuck.
ended up being pretty lucky that Hive Mega was a missile.
Yeah.
'Cause it didn't need to be. You might have been walking all the way back to landing site at the start of the race there.
But there is that little piece of crap. Super Missile Fungal Hole B. My deep mines, I was really struggling with that. Because I was constantly thinking like, what if it was Flagra? Should I just do Vent Shaft and then go through PPC? And then I decided to say, fuck it, I'm going through OP. Fungal Hole B Supers.
I gotta give you a language reminder. We are on SpeedGaming.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I prefer to keep the
I'm sorry.
PG here.
But this was just a very bad scene, and I feel very sorry for Veapron.
Yeah.
I understand that he was mad, or that his mentality has suffered through the seed. Trust me, mine too.
I almost felt like I jumped the scene. I know I didn't.
I guess my big piece of advice I think for both of you is like trying to avoid the speedrunner mindset where there's like if there's stuff that theoretically is a little bit faster when you pull it off like that and you have like a decent probability of success at it, like that stuff is fine to try to do in speedruns because like eventually you're gonna get it down and then it's better. But like in a rando race like this, like there were a lot of rooms that you lost time trying to do something like a little bit quicker but not getting it the first try. And so sometimes like just like dumbing it down a little bit can be faster unless you're like crazy consistent.
I still can't believe it. I have, after the fiasco in Geothermal Core and Root Cave, I did not expect to go out as a winner. Really?
Yeah. And like both of you did training weight chamber wall crawl just to
That
save
was
time
something-
walking around. And it
But
didn't
that was
go well
something
for
we
either
agreed
of
on.
you.
That was something that we agreed on. There were some points where I know Veapron is a style player, so I made a deal with him for some things that I can do perfectly consistent, I'll do them stylish. That's also why, although I had Spider Ball, I did the BSJ in Furnace.
Mhm.
So that was something we both had our fun with, and we both agreed to definitely do Training Chamber Wall Crawl no matter what happens.
Okay. I guess that makes a little more sense then.
What was Veapron missing?
Supers.
Supers.
Oh, he didn't.
He never went to lower mines. He thought it was like Thardus or like Plasma Checks and Fen and whatnot.
Ah, that's unlucky.
Yeah,
At some point, I had to in the final boss. I had to pause for a second and close race time because I got really paranoid about watching race time. Did Veapron already finish?
Yeah, those moments fighting final, especially when the final boss's like arc is like, 10 minutes or so. Literally in Exo in essence, like it's a long time to be staring at that race time room.
Jesus, what a seat!
Yeah,
That one.
the ice beam towards the back of Magmore is always kind of a troll location.
I've expected it, to be honest.
Yeah, I was commenting. I liked your play of going that way before labs, just to avoid getting really owned by going into labs and not finding ice beam.
Exactly. Also, if I would have gone the other way, or like let's say if plasma processing, magma workstation wouldn't have had the ice beam, I could have still went through the elevator, kill Thardas, which was on my list, and then go through labs.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I was praying for the ice beam where it ended up is simple. I realized how much items the game gives me that would lead me to plasma processing. Like I got boost, I got spider, I got grapple, I got PBs. The only thing I really needed was ice beam.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I gambled on.
Yeah, I like that check. I mean, you're leaving it pretty isolated. I mean, I guess you could have done it like after Farfen if you were going to head into PPC after. But I like not leaving that check isolated.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
But boy, what a seed.
Yeah, what a seed.
Yeah.
But no, I think you both played well. Both, I mean, this is more out of bounds than I've seen in a prime race in quite a while. So both of you were indeed putting on a show for us today. We appreciate that. Man, you're now undefeated in tournament play. We gotta keep an eye out for you, huh? Yeah, we gotta.
Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, GG Veapron. That was a tough seed, a really tough one.
Yeah.
I think my biggest blessing was I had one practice seed with Azura and it ended up even worse than this one. So my mindset was already prepared for anything. Yeah. Jesus.
Twitch links in there. Be sure to give both Jay and Veapron a follow. Thank you to everybody else in the booth today. Ivy, it was a pleasure co-commenting with you. Thank you, Pierre and Sam, for tracking. Let me double check the schedule here. I forget if we've got any more. I don't think we have any more today. There might be. There's some tomorrow, though. Yes, we have one race tomorrow. No more tonight. The race tomorrow is at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're facing. It'll be Diceron versus Link 64912. Should be a good one. So yeah, stay tuned for that tomorrow. But yeah, I guess unless you have any last thoughts for us here, Jay?
Not really, no. My
I still have to
work on some. I still have to work some things up.
Yeah. I need to teach you the ore processing climb as well.
Oh, yeah.
I have learned it. The thing is, I promised Reggie that I would not attempt to try any tech that I learned recently before the tournament. So I did not even, and with the performance in Root Cave and Geothermal Core, I did not even think about attempting that in that moment.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I think then with that, we will wrap up here for today. Thank you all for watching. And yeah, stay tuned tomorrow at 8 p.m. We will be back with more Metroid Prime 1 Rando. And until then, we will see you next mission.
See ya.
Bye.